Hey y'all, this is Sherry with Handmade University. We're going to be doing some resin crafting tonight. We're going to make some gummy bears, y'all. So we're using Paduo resin, and I'm going to have to double check how to pronounce that. But I'm just grabbing my supplies right now. So we have the 2-part resin, part A and part B. We're going to be using measuring cups, and the measuring cups actually have how many milliliters written right on them. The large cup is 100 milliliters and the small cups are 30 milliliters. Okay. I'm also using a popsicle stick that I'm using to stir. So to get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour equal parts of part A and part B. There's a 1-to-1 ratio here between the hardener and the resin. Okay. So to do this, a lot of times people will use a scale and they'll measure it, or if you have the measuring cups like I do, then you can just try to be super careful and line it up with the numbers. I'm doing sort of I'm not doing a large batch. I'm doing a small batch here today. So I'm pouring about 30 and 30, so 60 milliliters total here, and we'll put that into, in a minute you'll see, we'll put that into the smaller cups. Before we do that though, once we put our part A and our part B together, the next thing that we have to do is to stir, y'all. When I create items with resin, I try to stir for at least 2 minutes, sometimes a little bit more. Some things to be aware of when you're stirring is how many bubbles you're creating as you stir, so just be mindful of that, okay? So here I am, I'm starting my stirring process, and just to save you, I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit so that you don't have to sit here for a full 2+ minutes while I'm stirring. So as I was saying, you do have to be mindful of the bubbles, and some people, in order to avoid those bubbles, they will heat their resin up. To heat your resin up, what you would do is you would put the bottle into a cup of warm water. Oh my goodness, y'all. I completely forgot one of the cardinal rules of resin, and that is that you should be wearing gloves. This stuff is super sticky. And if you get it on your hands, it doesn't come off super easily. Like, you have to wash it several times. Sometimes use some alcohol or some acetone to help. So anyway, here I am. I'm pouring resin into the 2 smaller cups, and I'm going to add some color to them. I'm actually going to save some clear resin to do a little bit of an experiment towards the end of the video. So to color the resin, I'm going to be using alcohol inks, and I'm using the Adirondack brand of alcohol inks. I just bought these from like Michael's. So I'm just adding a couple drops, and then I'm going to go ahead and stir in order to get that color mixed all the way through. When you buy the resin that I'm using, they actually give you a stack of popsicle sticks, a few popsicle sticks that you can use to stir. That's one of the easiest things to use, because I'll be honest with you, when I do resin projects, all of these tools that I'm using, they go in the trash. I do not attempt to clean these off to reuse them. Some people do though. Alright, so now that I have my colors ready, I got my mold. You see me picking out some old resin, excuse me, from the last time that I used it. And I guess I didn't get it all out. So one thing about this particular mold that I'm using, I got this out of Michael's from the candy aisle. So this is actually for gummy bears. But I thought it would work, and I did try it previous to this. And what happened was they're super thick. So the gummy bears came out really, really thick. So this time I'm only filling them up about halfway. With my little experiment here. So I went ahead and I poured the clear that I had left into the rest of the gummy bear molds, And now what I'm doing is I'm picking out some alcohol inks, and I'm literally going to just add a few drops of alcohol inks completely at random, y'all. There was no method to my madness here. But I added the alcohol ink in, and then once I was satisfied with the colors that I chose, then I went ahead and grabbed a toothpick, y'all. So I did try, and you'll see in a moment, I did try to swirl these colors around a little bit with a toothpick. I just wanted to see how they would come out if I tried this strategy of just dropping in the alcohol inks. If it would give me like a cool like swish effect or what. So I'll have to let you see how they turn out. Alright, so I have poured my gummy bears and I'm about to clean up, and thank you all for watching, and I'll check you out later.